Hey everybody, we're back. It has been a while since we've made a video on this channel. We've been very busy. We have not abandoned our channel by any stretch of the imagination. We've just been very busy. So we are trying to get back out on the road. We're trying to find some time, make some time to visit some of these places here in South Carolina and North Carolina, Georgia, and that sort of thing. But we just haven't. But we're back. So anyways, we have come to this little town here by the name of Glen Springs, South Carolina. And Glen Springs is, it's been here since the 1800s, since the early 1800s. The first stop we're making is a place called the Smith House. And this house was built in 1852 and has been standing here for, I don't know, how long has that been? 170 something years
before the Civil War.
Yeah, before the Civil War. So here it is. Let's see if I can.
It says it's still owned by the Smith family, but it doesn't look like anybody lives in it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody lives in it. It looks like it's been abandoned, but yeah, the same family owns it. And I think that's kind of interesting because I've found that a lot of the places that we're looking at to come on this tour are owned by the same family that built them back in the 1800s. This property has been in the same family for, 175 years. That's incredible to me. That nobody along the way, nobody in the family along the way decided that they were going to sell it or get rid of it. Apparently this house started out as a one-story place, and they built a second story onto it. And then from what I understand, there was a balcony that was right here. They took the balcony out and they put a window up there where the door was. It's just the front door, and they added these bay windows here later on. This house has changed quite a bit since its very first, since it was first built. Okay, we've made it to the second location here. This is a Gothic style church that was built here back in 1907. So it has been here for 115 or so years. This actually place was shuttered, and there was wood over the building, or over the windows here up until 2017. This place was, they were going to tear it down, but they decided against that because it's just a cool old building. So the Preservation Society bought this place and are actually they've restored it back in 2017. But prior to that, it was basically just a burned out old church. The windows were busted out, the door was falling off, and the pews in there were in pretty rough shape. Yeah, are you part of the Preservation Society?
Oh, wow.
Okay,
cool.
You're driving now. Do you mind? Can I put you on camera or? No, that's okay.
All I want in this whole life, a little red house in a country wife, a picnic table out on the lawn, a couple of kids and a couple of dogs. Work all day to 5:30, a chain link fence and a gravel drive. The wind chime ringing on my front porch, a brand new carpet on every floor, and a rope swing tied around a limb of a tall oak tree.
Here is the big hotel that, well, was the big hotel until it burned down in a fire back in 1941. Is now on private property. I guess this is just a kind of an open field up here where you can kind of take a quick peek and see where it used to stand. But
we're kind of sad because you can't go and see the springs, which is the whole reason we came up here.
Yeah, I guess
private property
the
too.
folks who who own the springs do not allow people to go in there and
Rude.
and take a look at that stuff anymore. They're kind
I
of
just wanted to smell the water.
hoarding it, I suppose, but whatever. So we're gonna come and take a look at the grounds where the hotel used to be, and I guess it was right here in this field area. It was a big hotel, and the gentleman that owned this land got a grant from, was it King George III?
Yeah.
This is pre-Revolutionary War
Isn't that crazy?
stuff here, and people would come from like all over the country to come and visit the springs, which are right down that way that we can't get to anymore.
This must have been with
Yeah, well, she said it was just kind of a field. So this is the hotel.
Isn't it hard to believe that this was a major hub? Now look at it.
Yeah, this is a major hub.
Isn't it interesting how things come and go?
Apparently this water, which smells like sulfur from what I understand.
I guess sulfur was the magical ingredient.
Yeah, sulfur.
George Washington used it.
That's right. George Washington came here.
Came here.
A lot of people that were very wealthy apparently were allowed by the landowner to build cabins here and live on the property, and then the people that weren't as rich could stay at the hotel that burned down. This here is the old Kate's store. This was the gentleman was telling me this was like the Walmart when it was in its heyday. You can buy everything that you needed in this store here.
This, I think all this up in, well, when we took, well, ownership, I reckon it's what you could take years ago for this building, we used to have Sunday school classes in here.
Oh yeah.
And some of the older gentlemen come in and put these petitions and stuff in here. This thing was wide open, just these posts up under here.
Okay.
And
So the boys' school added these walls.
no, as some of our church members come in
I see.
and fix it so we can have it. Sunday school rooms.
Oh, God,
I had a
gotcha.
school back several years ago, so you'll have to excuse me.
It looks like,
Half talk.
God, this place looks like,
And I think this room here was kind of like a little dining hall, and I believe that was a kitchen right there.
yeah. That is, look at that. I mean, this must be the original paint.
It'd be awesome to get it, the world could use it for something.
I like the ceilings. It's the same type of ceiling that's in the church.
Yes, in the church, yes, sir.
Yeah.
That was a thing back then. But it had this old covering on the floor that aluminum stuff.
Oh yeah.
And they had was newspapers down on the floor, and it was back in the war years, World War II and stuff. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff. It was on them. It was in that time frame.
And they were using newspapers as a floor covering?
I'm sorry?
They were using the newspaper as a floor covering, or?
Yeah, they were using it for, used to, they put paper on the walls and stuff, to keep air and stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't have no insulation.
Neat place. Well, thank you for bringing me in.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome.
This place was the post office here, but apparently this isn't the original location. It was taken apart and moved to this location, I think back in the late 60s, early 70s maybe. But it started out as a saddler shop originally, and then was converted to a post office back in 1900, or circa 1900 I should say, and operated as the post office in this area until 1969. So it was a post office for almost 70 years, 69 years ish, considering it's circa 1900. So give or take a year or two. Anyways, yeah, this is an old building. Apparently it was owned by a gentleman who restored it, and then his daughter ended up donating it to the Preservation Society. So you have the Gothic church that we visited, the Kate store, the post office, and then right across the street is this Calvary Episcopal Church.
Did they move that one when this one got too big?
Yeah, I guess, no, this is a different one. But this Calvary church was started by John McCullough, Reverend John McCullough, in 1848. I guess the original building was about a half a mile, stood at the cemetery about a half a mile to the north.
Between
And
north
the present house of worship, I'm assuming is this one, was built in 1897. This is an interesting looking building. I can walk up there a little bit closer. Oh, I can walk over to the side here and see what it's made out of. Yeah, it's a tin roof. You could see it's kind of rusting here.
tin roof.
Rusty. But they've painted it kind of a silver color. It's kind of cool. 1897. Does the bell ring?
I couldn't get it to ring, but I didn't know if you were supposed to.
Yeah, I don't want to ring it too loud, but you can ring the bell at the church here. All right, I think we're gonna call it on Glen Springs. It's a very cool little town, very nice little place to take a drive through. There's not a lot going on as far as like stores, as far as, you know, there's really nothing here but homes and old churches and
If you like
old post offices.
architect, but what we were trying, the purpose of this video today is to find least expensive things to do after Christmas to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So that was our getting lost today thing. Things
Yeah.
that wouldn't cost you a ton of money.
Road trips on a budget.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No trespassing after dark, and then someone would, psych, have fun. Don't let our kids swim in garbage. Please pack out your trash. Thank you. Let's walk down here and check out this waterfall a little bit closer. Yeah. It's got like that weird kind of it's got a sulfur smell, doesn't it? Think I can make it across here? Whoa! I can get pretty close. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, we're walking across the walking bridge here above the waterfall. Couple gentlemen down there fishing.
Doesn't this look like a perfect place for alligators?
Some alligators here. Yeah, it would be if there was alligators in the upstate South Carolina. So apparently this is referred to in the literature that we have as a mill tower, and it looks like there was maybe more building that came out this way, because you could see this foundation here. I don't know, to be honest with you, but it looks like the building extended out this way a little bit further, and obviously it's no longer. But there's another one right over there too. So this mill here was originally started in 1830, and it was known as the Bivingsville Mill. Was created or started by a gentleman by the name of Bivings. First name is James Bivings, and he operated until the late 1840s, until he sold his share of the mill and moved away. And the people that bought it changed the name and the name of the town to Glendale, and that's what it is today. Glendale is the name of the town, and the mill was Glendale Mill. And it actually ran successfully for many years until the textile industry collapsed. And then that's when all these mills started to close down and fall into disrepair. What's kind of cool is that a lot of the ones that the buildings are still standing, they're turning them into like multi-use places. You know, they have restaurants in them, they have places that you can live, like condos you can live, yeah, just other little places that do business in there. This unfortunately has fallen down, so there isn't much to rebuild here, but yeah, this was a cotton mill for many years. These are other ruins of a building that was here, but it doesn't say anywhere from what I can see, at least the paperwork that we have, saying what this part of the mill was. That's interesting.
This was a labyrinth of
Yeah, there's like wood in there. It looks like wood anyway. I don't know if that's wood or not, but you can see like metal giant like bolts holding this thing together, but no clue as to what this part of the mill was. There's another one there. Another one up there. Interesting. Still walking through the mill here. Kind of a neat little place. I guess there's a little bit of a walking trail down here. It's not very far. I think it's like a half a mile or something like that. But here's the other mill tower that's here, and then there's a, I don't know, some sort of a smokestack. You see them at every one of the mills. Wow, what is that big metal thing in there? Eee. That's a trip. Yeah, it looks like people do a little bit of partying up in here. Turned it into an art gallery. I wonder what this big metal thing is. This is trippy. This old mill ruins is actually kind of a peaceful place. I like it here. It's got this nice little river running next to it. You can see those ruins of the building that I was just at a few minutes ago. There's that first tower we were at. There's that second tower. And here is the, you know, I don't know what you call these things. I guess it's like some sort of a smokestack. I don't know exactly what they're called, but it's kind of cool. I mean, you can come right up to it. There's another tower, smokestack looking thing over there. I think there's two of them. But yeah, very peaceful, serene, quiet, cool place to come and check out. Oh, here's a up higher version of, ooh, I don't want to get close to that. Yeah, I wonder where that big metal piece came from. Yeah, this looks like the staircase. It doesn't say anything in any of the paperwork that we brought about this house. I really wasn't expecting to see this here, but I would imagine that it was probably owned by the guy, maybe the Bivings, I think was his name. Maybe it was owned by him. This here was called the Labyrinth, and it was here on the mill grounds. I'm not sure exactly what the purpose of it is. They They talk about it being here. Apparently this is where the parking lot originally was for the mill. It must have been just here for the workers to come out and walk around in. I would imagine that's what it's for. It really doesn't have like a major purpose other than to entertain to some degree. But I don't know, it's kind of cool. The Labyrinth.
So one thing we just saw today, hi chickens! We saw some chickens. Well, I don't know about you, but I had fun today. How about you?
Yeah, I had fun too. We went to Glen Springs and now Glendale, and they're both, what, about maybe 20 miles from each other?
Yeah, about that far. It was
15, 20 miles from each other. They're pretty cool. We had a good time. It was a nice day to get out and take a drive and explore South Carolina and see what we could see. And we saw some pretty cool stuff. We saw that old mill. We saw
the
church.
The shoals.
Yeah, the waterfalls. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was a fun day. Considering that we were trying to do